my name is Dawn, and today we're going to be making an apple chicken gyro. So now we have several ingredients that we need to make this gyro. So we're going to start off with, we want to have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, so you can get that from cutting a fresh lemon open. We're going to have 1 cup of onion, 2 cups of peppers, red and green. If you can't get the red or it's a little bit too expensive, you can go with 2 cups of green peppers. We're going to need 1 medium apple chopped or sliced. And we're also going to do a ½ pound of chicken breast, and you're going to have that cut into thin slices. And then also, you want to have some type of pita bread or flat bread. Whole grain is going to be your healthiest option. Today we're going to use a flat bread, but you can also use pita bread or any other kind of wrap bread that you like. And also, you can use, we have Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt here also, which is a low-fat option for sour cream. So and then also you're going to need some kind of vegetable oil, whether it's canola or olive oil. Today we haven't had vegetable oil, but olive oil is going to be a healthier option for you for when you saute all of the ingredients. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the oil. We're going to put a little bit in the pan, and then if you're cooking on top of the stove, this happens to be just a electric frying pan, but if you're cooking on top of the stove, you can probably cook over medium to medium-high heat. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that up a little bit. And then we're going to start with our lemon juice. So we're going to go ahead and cut the lemon. And remember, whenever you're cutting or using cutting boards and you're dealing with meat, raw meat and vegetables, you always want to use separate cutting boards. And for this demo, the chicken has been cooked already, but you want to make sure, and for this recipe, you're going to cook the chicken prior. So when you're cutting your chicken into strips, use a separate cutting board for when you're cutting your peppers, your onions, and your lemons. So we're going to go ahead and cut a lemon, and we're going to get 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So we'll go ahead and squeeze that in here. We'll try to be as neat as possible. If you have one of those lovely produce squeezers, that's a good option to use. And so I don't, so we're going to use a tablespoon. So we're going to go ahead and just pour a little bit of lemon juice in. I'm putting my finger here to make sure the seeds don't get in there. So we have our tablespoon of lemon juice. And then we're going to add our cup of onions. And then we're going to add our cup of red bell peppers. And our green bell peppers. So we have a nice colorful meal. You always want to use a lot of different colored vegetables when you're cooking, because that is going to help out with getting a lot of the different nutrients and things from your vegetables. So if you've ever heard the term a colorful plate, that's the reason why. You're going to get different vitamins and nutrients from your red vegetables versus your green vegetables versus your yellow vegetables. So we're going to saute these in here and cook those a little bit longer. Let's see. And also, when you're cooking chicken, another thing, or any type of raw meat, I want to make sure you know, you want to make sure that you cook it to an internal temperature of at least 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And as I said before, for this demo and for this recipe, you're going to cook the chicken prior. So we're sauteing a little bit. You should get some good smells from these peppers now. If you're being adventurous, you can always chop up a little bit of garlic and add that in, and that'll also give it a little bit of flavor without adding any calories. So I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken. Here's our ½ pound of chicken cut into strips. And so I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And so we're going to stir that around. And one really great thing about this recipe is that you can get all of the 5 food groups in one meal. And so our 5 food groups are going to be fruits, vegetables, protein, dairy, and whole grains. So we've got our vegetables with our bell peppers and onions. We've got our protein with our chicken. And then when we get ready to finish and plate, we're going to show you where you're going to get the whole grain, the dairy, and the fruit. And so one of your goals, whenever you're trying to eat a little bit healthier, you want to try to have a goal of getting all of the 5 food groups into one meal. And if you can do that, you know you're doing great. If you get 3 or 4, that's still very good, and you can pick up the other 2 that you missed in a snack along the way during the day. So now we're going to turn this heat down, and so we'll turn it to warm. So we have our peppers, our onions, our chicken in here. Now we're going to get ready to plate. So earlier when we talked about that flatbread, this could be your pita or your flatbread. As long as it's whole grain, that's going to be the ticket. And this is where you're going to get one of your food groups, your whole grain. So we have this. Let me step out of the frame to get a spoon. One moment. Okay. And so we've got a spoon here, so we're going to plate. So we've got a whole grain. We're putting our veggies and our chicken and here on our flatbread. And now we're going to go ahead and add some apples. So these sliced apples, this is going to be that fruit option. And so you're going to have some sliced apples. It might be something that you hadn't thought about putting together, but when you put the taste together, it really does blend nicely. And then in order to add our last food group, we're going to use this Greek yogurt. It's plain Greek yogurt, so you want to get the kind in the store that doesn't have any sugar or flavor added. And then you can use this. If anybody's ever used sour cream in a recipe, you can use this as a healthy substitute. So you can go ahead and put that plain Greek yogurt there on your gyro, spread that, and then you want to close it up, and there you have it. You have a nice, healthy meal containing all of the 5 food groups. And so let me try to take a bite and not get too messy. Excellent. So enjoy the rest of the challenge, and make this for a meal for you or your family.